been a while, man. It's been a while since I've been on here. You know how long it's been? Look at this. New cut. Who this? Yo, do you see the cut? That shot clean, bruh. It ain't that clean no more, as you can see. I gotta get it cut. Don't know when, but I gotta get it cut. I'm back talking today about Horizon Zero Dawn. You know, it's my game of generation. Some rumors came out about the second or the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn. So I thought, why not speak on it? Without further ado, what up? What's good? Or whatever. It's the Frozen One, or Froze for short. And today we're going to be talking about Horizon Zero Dawn 2 co-op rumors. Now, the claim is that they're trying to put a co-op mode in Horizon Zero Dawn 2, and a lot of people are mad about it. I don't know why, but we're going to talk on it. So, co-op, if you don't know what that means, it's, being able to play with another person through the story mode of a video game, right? Allowing you to have a player with you to play through the story mode or play through a mode. It doesn't have to necessarily be the story mode. It's just a mode you play through together and work together to complete the goal and whatnot. Horizon Zero Dawn did not have this. It was just single player games. It didn't have a multiplayer aspect of it. It was just you going around open world fighting mechanical dinosaurs and whatnot. They're saying that Horizon Zero Dawn 2 could have a co-op, and a lot of people are mad about it, mainly because they say that co-op takes away from the story. So I want to speak on that. My thoughts. I don't think co-op takes away from the story. I think that people just don't pay attention to the story when they play co-op games. And that makes, I do the same thing. When I'm playing a co-op game, I'm generally trying to have fun playing a game with my friends. I'm, joking around and whatnot. Going around doing silly stuff. I'm not trying to really focus on the story because I'm just worried about having fun playing the game with my friend and whatnot. But that doesn't mean the story isn't still there. The story can still be a captivating story if you do it right. The story can still be a vital part of the game and still be it could be executed very greatly if developers know what they're doing. Co-op doesn't hinder that. It just allows people to get distracted more easily. So I don't necessarily believe that co-op is a bad thing as long as it's, executed correctly. Now, I want to talk about co-op doesn't really affect the story. Let's talk about a game that I'm referring to that has co-op that doesn't affect the story. And the first thing that comes to mind to me is Dying Light. So if you don't know what Dying Light is, survival zombie game, how all the games are zombie, not all of their games, but all the zombie survival games coming out and whatnot, where you play as this guy who goes around trying to find an antidote for the virus that's going around making people zombies, basically, and you're trying to save the world, generic stuff, right? Well, there's a co-op mode in that game, or there's a co-op aspect in that game that allows you to play with, I think, up to 4 people. Not 4 additional people, but 4 people in total, like Left 4 Dead, essentially. And you're able to go around, do the same missions, do the same side missions, fight the same zombies and whatnot through co-op mode. Now, I don't think it hinders the story because when you go to a specific mission, you have to, if everybody's trying to do this mission, well, if you start a mission, everybody has to do it. It's not like you do a mission and then they can just do their own thing. So when a person is trying to go start a mission, they have to wait until all the players are there to start the cutscene, or the players can then fast travel to watch the cutscene or to the cutscene and whatnot. And in doing so, it basically forces, because everybody's essentially the same person. The main character in that game is Crane. Everybody's essentially Crane. It's just you're playing with 4 Cranes, right? And when you get to a certain mission, you're all playing the same mission. So it basically engrosses you into the same storyline depending on whose game you join. If you're joining somebody else's game, it goes on their storyline as opposed to yours, but you're essentially playing the same story. So only thing you got to do is pay attention to the cutscenes and follow the story along and whatnot, and you should be good. I don't think co-op hinders the story mode in terms of being captivating. I just think that people don't pay attention to the story mode when they're playing co-op games. So I can see why certain people would necessarily be upset that co-op would be part of putting their games, but I don't think that is that big of an issue, especially Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn can pull it off fairly easily. I don't see what the issue is. Everybody's, running around the open world map, jumping on dinosaurs, running around fighting other dinosaurs. If you want to do this mission, essentially do the same thing Dying Light does, go there and then have people fast travel to it so you can complete the mission watch the same cutscenes and whatnot. I think another issue, Horizon Zero Dawn has interactive like quotes where you pick what you want them to say in order to shape the storyline to what you want to do. If that's, I mean, I'm not saying it can't be done. That is a hurdle that I'll probably have to jump over, because it's like, what if somebody on your team wants to go this route, but you want to go this route? I guess it depends on whose game you're in, who has like seniority over everything. But they can make it happen. Like, it's not like it's impossible for them to do. It's just it takes work, and I feel like a lot of people aren't trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, because I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, I think Guerrilla Games is the one that make this game. I'm not well versed in the companies that make games, so when I just play games, that's all I do. But I'm pretty sure it's Guerrilla Games, and they made a banger when they dropped Horizon Zero Dawn. You should have faith in them, since they made such a great game, to be able to pull this off. Like, I don't see why you're saying, oh, they're gonna mess up the game, it's gonna be horrible. Have faith. I mean, this game was a new IP when it came out. We expected nothing of it, and it turned out to be a really great game. It was getting like Game of the Year, like, not, it was getting nominated. I think I got nominated for it, right? Yeah, I got nominated for one. It didn't win it, but it definitely got nominated. So if it's at that high stature, obviously it's a good game. And I mean, it's sold millions, so it's obviously a good game. So I don't see what the issue is. I feel like you should have faith in this company to be able to pull it off. But then I thought about it even further, and I was like, people are talking about how this is going to hinder the story. Before this game, like when this game was still relevant, as what I'm talking about, like when it was still relevant, people were talking about how the story wasn't all that great. People were talking about, they call it an RPG. It's not really an RPG. It's an action adventure game. People were basically downplaying the game altogether. They're talking about how it's not an RPG, even though they're calling it an RPG. The character, Aloy, the main character, is bland, no emotion. She doesn't have basically no emotion, so there's no really, you're not really engrossed into like what's going on or what's happening with her, because you don't really care. You're not really caring about the character because she's not interesting enough to care about. They were talking about how the story wasn't good, how the only thing great about the game was the gameplay, right? But now people are talking about how, oh, it's going to ruin the story. And I'm like, you didn't care about the story before. Like, the story, according to you, was not good. It was it was mediocre. All you really cared about was going around shooting dinosaurs. But now you care about the story? Now you care, like, I don't know. Like, people say a lot of things, but they don't really mean what they say. Like, you'll say like, oh, the story isn't all that great, but then you worried about the story being bad when they drop co-op. But you didn't care about the story before, and you still liked the game, but now you're worried that the story is going to suffer. I don't think it's going to suffer. Like, I really don't think it's that big of an issue, especially since the game was so good prior, like when they first came out. You should have faith in the developer to do that again. Now, it's not guaranteed. Sequels come out and sequels can be trash. Like, we know they can be trash, but I would think that it's not going to be trash. I feel like it would be okay. Like I said, I feel like Horizon Zero Dawn can pull it off because I think it's built to be a co-op game. Like, you have like one guy or girl going around shooting like ropes at a dinosaur or thunderjaw to like hold it down. You have another one coming in, hitting it with the critical strikes and whatnot. It would be a good game co-op. Like, I believe it would be. Some people might say, oh, that'll make it more easier. I mean, maybe. I mean, when you have two humans playing a video game that are, competent enough to play a video game, I'm pretty sure it's going to make it easier. Maybe they'll code for that and make it more difficult, so make where the dinosaurs hit harder when you get hit with something. Maybe they'll make them more dangerous. Who knows, right? That's for the developers to find out. We shouldn't be worried about stuff like that in the sense of, oh, can they pull it off and whatnot? You should want them to be able to pull it off, because it would make our gaming experience a lot better, right? We just want fun games, right? As gamers, we just want fun games. Let them figure out the minutia in making fun games, but you should want them to create fun games. That's all I'm saying. If they could, I would say, hey, I know, people say you allocate too many resources to like the co-op, it takes away from the single player experience. They don't have to be mutually exclusive. You can put a really good single player into a game and also have a co-op component of it that's equally good, like or even better. And you can also do the same with multiplayer. It just depends on where you lie. I know there's budget constraints and whatnot, but it really just matters how good you are as a developer and how much money you want to put into something. People were thinking that like because The Last of Us is such a good game and it's like single player with a multiplayer aspect, they're thinking that if you put anything like a multiplayer in another game, it's going to be detrimental to the story because certain games got really good stories, but if you add something else to them, it will take away from it. Like people are making up things essentially. People are essentially making up things on how like it could be bad if they allocate their resources to another thing. That's not guaranteed. Like it's not guaranteed that something is going to be bad just because more like resources are taken away from it to go somewhere else. They can be so talented that they don't need that many resources to make a great game. You just gotta have faith. That's all I'm saying. The first game was good. Have faith that the second one will be good as well. Co-op mode, I don't think it's going to hinder that much. But hey, we will see. Time will tell. Stop making all these assumptions that's going to be bad off rip. Time will tell. But anyway, that's my thoughts on it. I mean, a little bit of a rant, but it is what it is. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. But remember, man, it's been a while, but you need to remember. I mean, you already